There I am. Doing the Discord things. Go do the Discord things. Do the Discord things. I have not really started yet, and I already just tried to stifle a yawn. Seriously. Ugh. Annoying. Okay. Done a Discord thing. Right. So what am I missing? I'm missing a banner. Gotta have the banner. Gotta have... the logo and my name. Why not? All the things. Right. Well then, howdy howdy. 35% really? Weird. I've had another weird day. I seem to never have just bleh days anymore. They're just weird days. Kind of a bummer, really. Yeah. I've had a bit of a day at the end of the day. I've had a day, okay, mainly because the crappiness of my day, like is in the summing up, you know. It's always kind of shit just recently. But yeah, I mean, in the day had some really good bits, you know. Like I got up, I played on the computer for a little bit, uploaded a video. I recorded a video, got the footage on here, which is cool. I haven't edited any of it yet. I was planning on maybe doing that now. I don't know. I mean, I've got an hour and a half, I guess. An hour and 10 minutes, really. Oh, shut up. Stop. An hour and 10 minutes, really. But yeah. Oh, I've got to encode it, so that's... I don't have enough time. Never mind. I won't do that then. But I shot the video. The video was fun to shoot. Kind of realized that it wasn't enough pudding. Kind of like, when I look back on it, I'm like, this isn't really a video. I should have had more pudding. But we don't have that much pudding. Because at the time I was like, okay, a big bowl of of pudding that is apparently 4 servings of pudding of this super yummy butterscotch pudding. It was like so good. And I ate it really fast for the video. So it was like, yeah, it's awesome. And then 2 little cups of chocolate custard. And I was like, this isn't enough pudding. But I recorded that, so whatever. I kind of feel like that wasn't enough pudding for the... Yeah. I didn't get like a heavy bloated feeling like I was hoping for. And that's a real bummer because... Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe I will postpone the week for a bit longer, bloating week for a bit longer. I don't know. Hi AJ. Yeah. It just felt a bit. lackluster, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It felt a bit weak sauce, you know. I don't know. I have to rethink of an idea. I don't know. It's a lot harder to film as well while Damon is here, because Damon is here all the time. As much as I love him, um, Jesus Christ, do I want some? I want some house time to myself. To myself. I don't know. I can't think of any. I can't think of any real reason for it. I kind of just yeah. I got so much bullshit depression stuff that basically it's like it makes it really hard to want to be around people in general, even the ones that I super love. So yeah, typical. But whatever. So yeah, I recorded the video, and I was going to work out and then record a video, but Damon was in the living room, which is where I work out, so I couldn't actually work out then. Then I went in after I did an art stream, and I wanted to work out, thinking that Damon, it's Friday, so Damon probably wouldn't be in bed, but it turns out he was in bed, so I couldn't work out. And all of that's left me feeling kind of crappy, especially since somebody somebody online has got a really cool. They got a really cool, just like kind of like a onesie, kind of a cat suit kind of thing. Only it's a fox, and I basically asked him where he got that, and I was like, because it looks kind of. I'm not. I don't want to say this to him, but it kind of looks cheap, you know. It literally is just a like spandex catsuit, but it's got like a pattern over it that makes it look like a fox. You know, like it's just got it printed on the fabric or whatever. I don't know how that works, but yeah, it's like, oh, that's kind of cool, and it looks cute on him, and it's kind of funny, and I kind of want to see what that looks like on me, and it's cheap. It looks cheap, you know. It doesn't look like it's going to cost a couple $100 to get, you know. Um, it's like a onesie, you know, $50 at most. I expected, you know. And then he sent me a link, and I was all excited because I was like, oh, I can order this thing straight away, no problem. It's like $200. The whole thing is like $250, you know, not including the shipping, which is probably another $50 to ship to the UK because it's an American website. Of course it is. So it's like, oh, so that hurt. So I've just been randomly just hurt a bunch by this stuff. So yeah, I can't afford anything extra extravagant now that I've got Damon's. I've got Damon a few things, basically a few special items for Damon, and that was like $400. So yeah, I was gonna get him something super expensive, but then I was like, no, because I really can't afford that. I don't think. And I do want some money left over for traveling because I don't know what my travel plans are going to be, especially since the lockdown thing has happened. You know, I don't know when I'm going to be able to actually travel and stuff. So when I do, I want to be able to actually afford shit, you know? So it's kind of a thing. So I can't afford a 3D printer. That's basically what it was. It was just a 3D printer, and I can't afford one of those. But I know Damon would love one, but I can't afford it. So it's like, no. Hey, Jeffers, what is up, dude? Yeah. So that's basically been my day. Did you get any of that, Jeffrey? I don't know if you got any of that, Jeffrey. I just realised I didn't play any of my game because I've been too busy trying to figure out stuff. I kind of came on stream a bit too early. I think I'm like an hour early because I haven't played any of my game, and I was like all excited about playing that for some reason. But yeah, you're the tail end. Yeah. I have started a new channel on my Discord server, and that is that it's a channel just for it's called Wishlist, and it's just for people to put stuff down that they would like, you know, including commissions from artists and all that stuff. So feel free, if anybody's on my Discord and is watching the playback or anything like that, to add stuff there. I made that channel mainly because Itchy asked me if he could have the link to the place to get the ogre tusks, because I posted it somewhere on Discord, but I couldn't find it. So I was like, well, if I make a channel for this stuff, then yeah, it's easy to find, but I haven't been able to start and find it again. So yeah, and I've been wanting to just add shit to it all the time, just completely just overload it with stuff that I want, but I don't know. I don't want everybody to think that I made the channel literally so that I can post everything on it and I expect people to get me shit. I do not think that at all. But yeah, I want to kind of add all of this stuff to it now. It's really annoying because, like I said, I don't want to overload it with that stuff. But yeah. How have you guys been? What is up, AJ? How are you doing, Jeff? What have you been up to? Also, Jeffrey, do you have another movie recommendation? Because, like I said, I'll find it and I'll watch it. I enjoyed looking at something that I hadn't seen before, you know? I enjoyed that part of the thing. I shouldn't do this on this chair because this chair's got a thing. I keep leaning on one side of it and it just, yeah. It's weird. Some arsehole in my house, some arsehole spider in my house has been making, what do they call them? The track lines or something? Just from the ceiling to the ground. Just very stiff cobwebs that are very strong. And it's like, ugh, so annoying. But yeah, I haven't found that spider, but I've got to remember to wave the mop around because I come out into my office waving a mop around to basically clear a path through spider webs and anything that's in my way. So when I go in the house, I've got to do that all the way to the bed. So yeah. Yes, it was so much fun to watch the movie with you, Tubbs. That's nice. It was fun. I kind of, like I said, I kind of want to do. I want to do it again, but I don't know what movie to suggest. You know, and I don't mind seeing anything. I don't mind seeing anything. It's just I don't mind talking about it. You know. Even bad stuff is fun to watch. You know, some bad shit can be fun to watch. Yeah. Who has $200 to spend on a cat suit? You know, I keep thinking this to myself. It's like I don't understand how people afford stuff like this. I really don't get it. Yeah, a cat suit. I'm just thinking about all of the other stuff that I would like and I would think would be reasonably priced and stuff. And it's like, no. But I'm also just thinking it's just how I've never had the experience of like of like going to up to something that I really want to buy. I've had the experience with stuff that I need, but stuff that I really want to buy, and hearing that it's a lot more expensive than I thought it was, and then being like, yeah, right, you know, I've never had that experience, and I don't know how other people can have that experience. Like as empathetic as I am, how do how do people do that? How do people do that? I mostly just kind of walk away in disgust at like, well, that's unreasonable. That's just not reasonable for what this thing is. You know, I take into account of how things are made and what the materials are and stuff like that, and it's like that. I kind of put a value on that. You know, but I don't know why, how comes all of the extra work? I get man hours and stuff and how long it would take you to make adjustments and shit. But no, you know? And I don't understand how other people can be like, yeah, that's about right. It's like it it's not. That's not right. What's wrong with you? you know, I'm trying to think of a good example of anything. Musical instruments, right? Musical instruments. Okay, my first electric guitar was given to me by my cousin. Um, I basically I fixed it as well once because it had broken like clean in half. So I understood like the woodworking thing. I had help of my uncle to basically and his wood shop, his workshop, his wood shop, whatever you want to call it. Who basically like helped me. He basically did it himself, but I watched him do it, and it was like, yeah, that's a repair, and I can see how you would actually make that thing. And yeah, I get it. It will probably cost you $100, reasonably for a electric guitar, for an electric guitar with all of the extra bits, all of the things that you need for an electric guitar. It'll probably cost you $100, along with the man hours they would take to actually assemble these things. Get it? It's reasonable. That makes sense to me. They're like 200, 300, sometimes $500. And it's like, that's not reasonable. That is a crazy thing. And, if you want a high-end one, it's even more expensive. And yet people buy this shit, the whole Wayne's World thing, there's the classic electric guitar that he really wants, and it's like it's way too expensive, and he can just buy it, and that's great. By the end of it, sorry, spoilers for Wayne's World. Jesus, people. It's like 30 years old. Whatever. Is it 30 years old? I think it is. I think it is. It's like 1990. I don't know, but yeah, that thing's like like $1,000 or something crazy. It's crazy expensive, but it costs to make that thing. It costs them less than $100 to actually make that electric guitar, including man hours. That's how they make their money. And I get that you need to make your money. I do. But even then, I tack, I tack a percentage of how much I estimate that this thing is valued at in my head of how much time it takes to make it, man hours, how many time, the materials I used, all that stuff, and then I add like a percentage just in my head, just a rough estimate of and I was like, okay, that's how much it costs to sell it. I get that. Okay, great. And it's still not $1,000. What is wrong? I don't understand, and it drives me nuts. I get capitalism, I get, but Jesus Christ, could we just not be that fucking greedy? Could we just not be that fucking greedy? Could just humanity not be that fucking greedy? I want a new suit. I want a new suit. I want a tailor-made new suit, and it would be awesome. I understand that this suit is probably going to cost me $100 because I enter my measurements and shit, and then basically I can get it delivered here. And I can't afford that. But it's just that some suits are $10,000. I'm trying to remember the name of this suit, but $10,000 for this awesome, just a really nice suit, and it's like it's about $200. It cost about $200 to make this thing. That's how much it costs. Man hours and and the estimated percentage, whatever, 200, $300. I get it. $10,000. What the fuck, people? Artwork, classic. Just a very, very classic example. My time, I value my, you value your time for artwork, how long it takes you to make this thing, how detailed you want it, exactly what you're asking for, how complicated is it to draw, are you asking for something that's a little bit out of this person's wheelhouse, stuff like that, it adds to the price. And that completely makes sense. That's why I've upped my price to $40 as opposed to the $20 I was asking for before, because I'm relying on this as my main income, and I value the dollar rate of my hours, so I've upped my price. Makes sense. Whereas before it was just something that I was just kind of like scribbling in the background, I was doing it in the background to supplement my income with that work. It wasn't anything that I was relying on, but now I am. So yeah, and that all makes sense. But there are people that ask for $150 per picture, and it's like, you didn't spend 70 hours on this thing. I'm not buying that, You didn't spend 70 hours on this thing, and it didn't cost that much electricity to work and edit on your computer and stuff like that. I'm not buying it. I'm not. So yeah. So, but again, people buy this stuff. And it must, some of it, there are assholes out there that just buy this shit just for the sake of saying, "Oh, I can buy it because I'm rich." And it's like, yeah, I hate those guys. They're kind of shits. I get it, but I don't understand how anybody else can, anybody else that really wants something, doesn't need it, just really wants this thing, and basically here's the price of the thing, and you understand what I'm talking about, right? I mean, I'm not just talking to myself. There are 4 people watching, and I'm assuming that all of you are understanding this. I'm just going to say it one more time, though. I don't understand how people can value something in their head, look at it, value it in their head, and then justify right away purchasing that thing after hearing that it's sometimes several times more than they valued it in their head. I can't see that happening. I kind of question. I've done this in real life, right? I've done this in real life. I'll give you an example, because where are you? This pipe, right? Simple design. It's very elegant. It's not really just yeah. Cost me about $150, I think, in dollars. It's like 100. It was about 120 pounds, but yeah. It's made by a decent company that I trust. It's going to last a long time, it costs around about £50 to make in materials, and I would say like man hours and stuff, and it will probably, I would say that it's worth about $100, but its lasting value, is good. So I have this pipe, and I keep this pipe. But at the time, in the store, I said to the guy, you know, I said to when he like showed it to me and everything, and I actually saw the price, and I was like, 150, really? And he was like, yeah, I mean they are expensive, but you got to realize that it's going to last you a long time, and that sold it to me. You know, I didn't purchase it because it was just something that I was like, I immediately heard that it was this price, and I was like, okay, I'll get that. You know, I valued it in my head, and kind of it's a little bit over the price, so I needed some convincing, and yeah. But I would do that with anything. I will do that with anything. And a lot of the reactions that you get from like the people, you know, the people that are trying to sell it to you are usually like, well, we do have cheaper ones. It's like, no, I want you to justify why this one costs more. And they can't. A lot of them can't. A lot of them never can. The guy that sold me that one said that he's got one of these, and he said that basically it's lasted him a long time, and that it's going to last me a long time. And it is, to be fair, this particular one has lasted me a good 5 years. So, you know, he probably doesn't. He probably doesn't at all. But yeah, it's a thing. I just don't understand how people can do shit like this. It just doesn't make sense to me. It just does not make sense to me. I guess the whole point of this run, and I'm sorry for anybody that's just like wanting me to talk about something else. I guess the whole point is I'm annoyed at y'all. I'm annoyed at everyone who has the ability to frivolously spend money, because I don't have any. I frivolously spent my money on Damon, you know, for his birthday, and that was it. You know, the rest I've got to save for potential travel plans or the apocalypse. You know, whatever. Continued survival in the apocalypse. So yeah, it's stupid. You know. I'm sorry. I'm going to read everything. I do apologize. I'm going to read everything. What did you have for dinner? I just had a burger and chips, but I had, because I filmed the video, I had a big bowl of pudding, which, to be fair, actually, it doesn't seem that big now that I think about it. But it was full all the way up with this Angel Delight pudding, butterscotch, and it was super yummy. And 2 pots of chocolate custard. So yeah, that's 4 servings apparently that was in that bowl of pudding. Apparently that was 4 servings of pudding. That's bullshit. That's so bullshit. But yeah, and the reason why I'm not super excited about the video, I did explain this at the beginning, was that that's all the pudding I had. I couldn't have any more pudding. I thought I had way more pudding than that, but that's all the pudding that I had, like in the house. That's all we got. However, Damon had sneakily purchased some Magnum ice cream, which is basically just ice cream on a stick. That's all it is. And yeah, I had one of those when I was going to work out. Instead of working out, I could, because I found out that I couldn't. I basically had one of those and a banana. So yeah, but I've had enough sugar today. So yeah, but I'm not super enthused about the video because, like I said, I feel like I could have eaten way more pudding. I know I could have. And that just seems kind of pitiful for me. So I'm not super excited about editing this video, apart from very, very selective bits in it, in which I know certain people, Itchy, will really like. So yeah. Anyway, so I had that for dinner. So that's good. Akasu, who's oh wow, that's crazy. Yeah, I just don't understand. Like, I'm gonna go over it again. Jesus, I don't understand how people can just buy this. I'm so annoyed at people with disposable income, that much disposable income, that they can just think, yeah, why not? It's like, but it's hundreds of pounds over how much it costs to produce. Whatever. I agree with you, Tubbs. How do they do that? I don't know. I don't know how, but people do that, dude. That's weird. Yes, they are very expensive now. The electric guitar, yes, they are. Very true, Tubbs. Some keyboards are $4,000. They are ridiculously expensive. Well, I understand. I understand electronics. Electronics are a bit different because it's the people that design it, that engineer all the parts to it and stuff like that. I'm just thinking of my laptop. I'm just like all the people that have poured over these designs to make this thing, and all the stuff that goes into it working, and its perceived value of what it can do and stuff like that. It's very hard to price that stuff. That's why they were radically expensive in the past, because it wasn't just how they were made and what they can how they were made and how long it took to make it and all of that stuff and how many people they have to pay to make it. It's also how many of them and what they can do and their perceived value based on what their functions were. So computers in the past were radically differently priced to how they're priced today. They went super cheap in the 90s. I remember that because it was awesome, because everyone was building their own computers. And then now they're just going back up in expensiveness. But the problem with that is they are actually doing a lot better stuff. They're being priced based on actual what they can do. You can get a cheap laptop now, but it is literally a cheap laptop. It won't do as cool stuff as the really expensive laptops now. And they're kind of fairly priced, in my opinion. Electronics, completely different. It's a completely different situation. So yeah, the amount of research that it's taken to get this thing this small doing whatever it does is amazing. To get a rectangle that can be your personal assistant and your communication device and a tricorder, it's like amazing. It's amazing. And I can see why those are expensive. I get why they're expensive. Apple, though, what the fuck, Apple? You are literally doing the brand thing, and I hate you for that. But at least they're not super bad at the moment, where they do the thing of all of their products staying a certain price forever. I got my X. It used to be $1,000. It when I purchased it, it cost me $200. And that was only like a year or two after it first came out. So this iPhone X is my current iPhone. Basically, yeah. So I get it, but Apple are dangerously close to getting to they get into the stage where they're starting to ridiculously price their products, including not just their phones, but all of their products, and it's annoying me, but whatever. But electronics, I understand. So yeah, an electric guitar is radically different. It's basically analog. It is basically analog, only it could be hooked up to a speaker. That's all an electric guitar is. A keyboard, radically different. Radically different. So I understand why they're, depending on what they do, because some of them are some keyboards are complete mixing studios. It's crazy. Anyway, it must be woven with gold for that much. The suit, no, it's just a brand thing. You know, it is just a brand thing. I'm sure there's some ridiculous reason. You know, I'm sure there's some reason. I'm sure there's some law even, but I do wish that there was a price cap. You know, you can't go any more expensive than this. You just can't. It's ridiculous. If you go over this much, then you are stupid. You have to justify it somehow. You know, by saying that it's made of gold or whatever. You know, I wish that was the case for a lot of things. You know, it's just, yeah. If you're a rich person and you want a specifically designed, you want a watch that costs £1 billion, you know, go to a watchmaker and commission a timepiece. Do that. But I don't think companies should be able to actually make, you know, stuff and then set a price that is crazy ridiculous amounts of money that like is just not how much this thing should cost. You know, it's so annoying to me. It just, oh. Anyway, definitely understand, Tubbs. It makes no sense to me either. Exactly, yeah, exactly, Tubbs. I'm all about a deal. Well, I'm not about a deal. I won't haggle. I wouldn't call it haggling. You know, what I do, it's just that I say that's a bit much for this thing, isn't it? And then they, like I said, most people who are trying to sell me shit are like, oh well, there's some less expensive, or oh, that's just how much it cost, you know. And it's like, fair enough. I'm not purchasing it. I don't want the lesser thing. I wanted this thing. I know how much it costs to make. I'm not going to do this, you know. So goodbye. Yeah, it's a thing. If somebody actually like justified it to me, you know, like this cat suit, like this really cool cat suit. If somebody justified it to me that it was like, oh, it's not just spandex, you know, it's not just like a stretchy neoprene kind of material. It's a super stretchy material, and it's actually kind of like super mega carbon fiber bulletproof stuff. Then I'd be like, okay, that makes sense. That's why it costs that much. I get it. That's okay. Fair enough. I can't buy that though. I still can't afford that. So yeah. I mean, I might purchase it just for the coolness factor, but because now I know at least that it's like, oh, well, that's how much it costs. I get it. That's cool. That's awesome. You know. But yeah. You're so sweet. I'm not that sweet. Yes, I love Magnum popsicles. Are they called popsicles? I thought that was like a frozen. I thought it had to have like a certain amount of water or something in it to be called a pops. I don't know what. I don't know. It's weird. AJ says, "Can you do a milk chugging video?" I don't have the storage space for that much milk. If I had the storage space, if we had a huge fridge, then yes. But I don't have the storage space for that much milk. So yeah, it's why I don't do ice cream unless I basically purchase it that day. It's because I can't put it in the freezer. Our freezer is packed, not with ice cream, annoyingly. It's got a lot of frozen ingredients that we freeze a bunch of stuff. We make some stuff in batches and then we freeze it so that we can just put stuff in the microwave and eat it straight away. So yeah. One of the things I do on Sundays is basically batch cook stuff. So yeah, we've got lots of really nice frozen soup. But yeah, we don't have the we don't have the we've got one fridge and one freezer, and they're about this big. You know, the fridge is about this big, um, and that deep, and that's it. And we've got all of our juices in it. Damon's got some champagne in there for some reason. Um, we have some condiments, salad ingredients, fresh vegetables, um, a couple of burgers, just ready meal burger things. We've got a drawer for those. Cheese, hams, chickens, meat, you know. Um, and occasionally bread, because our bread bin, it's supposed to be one of those vacuum sealed bread bins that sucks the air out of it. It doesn't do that. And it doesn't really work. So yeah, we put our bread in the fridge. I know that's weird, but yeah. But yeah, and of course I do have milk in there, and Damon has half fat milk, and essentially we call it green top, and essentially it's that's my milk. That's my milk for the week. That's what I use for my cereal. If I drink that, and my milk and cookies, if I drink that, all of it, which I can do because it's 4 pints, 5 pints, no, it's 4 pints or 6 pints. If I drink all of that, then I've got no more milk for my cereals or my cookies or anything. So yeah. Plus that Damon uses my milk in emergencies because he goes through a 6 pinter a week, very very quickly because he drinks coffee all the time. So yeah. Oh, butter! I forgot we got butter in there as well. Although that's a condiment, isn't that a condiment? I don't know. We need more butter, I think. But yeah. So yeah, we can't store a lot of milk, and therefore I don't do milk chugging videos unless somebody purchases the milk for me. That's the other thing, dude. If you want me to eat something, a lot of something, then usually you'd have to pony up some money, because I will have to purchase it special, and a lot of certain things can be expensive. You know, somebody wanted me to do a they wanted to get me a well they wanted me to eat a a huge Chinese takeout meal, and it's like, that's awesome, but that costs like $40. Do you have $40? You know, and it's like, no, just next time you eat one, make a video of it. And it's like, I might, but because it's that much money and I don't have that much money, I'm probably not going to do that. You know? Honestly, I'm happy to do stuff all the time that basically costs no money. You know, like the pudding, because that was all of our pudding. That was all the remaining pudding in the house. So yeah. Did I mention I had a banana as well, Jeff? I don't remember. So yeah, that is so true, Tubbs. Like the first VCRs were so expensive when they first came out, and they were huge. Well, like I said, they didn't really know how to price these things, and they did usually cost a lot of money to mass produce. That was the main thing. If they only made one of them, then it probably wouldn't be so expensive. But the thing is that they had to make a lot of them, and they had to cover their costs for making a lot of them, because the demand was high for them. So yeah. But the problem is that basically they had to up the price for them, because they're huge. That's a lot of materials to build, stuff. It's a thing. I think I've been bitten on my leg. Also, I'm suddenly feeling very itchy. Really annoying. Well, that's a good deal, Tubbs. What? I forgot. I don't know what I was talking about in that one. I'm usually very good at figuring out what the comments mean if I've been talking over the comments, and but I don't know what that means. Exactly, Tubbs. They have to really be able to sell the item in order for us to buy it. Other way round. We have to sell the item. Oh, when I was talking, yeah. I love soup. That sounds so good. That sounds good. We make good soups. We've even got a soup maker. We basically have the slow cooker soup maker thingy. So yeah, it's not that hard. Soups are really easy. You know, if you got a blender, and some choice ingredients, and matter of fact, peas are a good base. I found to make soup. You know, it's really easy. It's really easy to make soup. I like soup. We hardly ever have bread, though. I normally just get pittas and just like butter them up and then dip them into the soup. It's a thing. It's a thing. Anyway, I do the same, Tubbs. I keep my bread in the fridge too. Yes, some people don't like it because certain bread can go hard. Not stale, but it can go hard in the fridge for some reason. And you can also get bread mold on your other food in your fridge. But we've never had that experience because we normally eat bread. We normally get the food delivery and we eat the bread within like a couple of days. So yeah, because we have the bread with everything. So yeah, I like me some sandwiches. You know, we get the pre-cut sliced meat and stuff from the deli section, and yeah. Damon keeps getting light cheese. I never understood that. He doesn't do it on purpose. He always just says that, like, oh, I just noticed that our cheese is the light cheese. And I was like, well, didn't you see that there's the light cheese? It's because we normally go shopping together, and I pick at random, like 3 different kinds of cheese. Whereas he, depending on whatever's on offer, whereas he just kind of grabs them at complete random from the cheese section, so he ends up getting light cheese, and it just doesn't have the same amount of taste, you know, the same amount of flavor, which makes it just kind of rubbery. I'm just talking about cheese now. Jesus Christ. Do you like Gouda cheese? I have said that. I've never had smoked Gouda. I don't think that I never thought that was a thing. I've never heard of that, you know. But Gouda's pretty good. I do want to point out that if you are looking for a mozzarella substitute, you know, you're making like you're making pizza or something, you don't have any mozzarella, then Gouda and Edam cheese are also very good at getting that kind of stringy like texture. Plus, they won't sweat as much. They lose less of their oils. So yeah, a lot of people like the mozzarella for its very runny texture. You know, when it kind of melts almost into almost liquid form. You know, and it has that super stringiness to it. But yeah. So if you want a mozzarella substitute, then I would suggest either Gouda or Edam, because it does that. But yeah, I like Gouda. I like most cheese. I like most cheese that doesn't smell particularly strong because of my hypersensitivity. Things are often not overpowering, just it hurts my nose. You know, much like the over brightness of light hurts my eyes, and the over loudness hurts my ears. The over pungentness hurts my nose. But yeah, I basically like most cheese. Oh, except for um, brie. As long as I don't smell it, I can eat brie. I can eat a lot of brie. I love brie. You know, brie and cranberry in a in a bacon roll or sub, or just put it in a sandwich, whatever. With, I don't know if you guys call it rocket, but with some kind of plant, you know, lettuce, whatever. Um, my favorite sandwich. My favorite sandwich ever. They do that a lot of Christmas. You get brie, cranberry, and turkey sandwich with with maybe some bacon in there as well, and it's got some rocket, or you call it something else. I think it's, what is rocket called in America? Is it arugula or something weird like that? Arugula, really? Why do you do this? Why the weird names? You know, why do you have to be? I thought you spoke English. You know? Um, but yeah, it's like my favorite sandwich ever. It's so good. It's so good. But Jeffrey, you know I don't have favorites anyway. So Gouda, I like Gouda, but I wouldn't have said I have a favorite cheese. That sounds great. Yes, it's arugula. You got it. So it's arugula is rocket. Okay. Yeah. For some reason, there is a sandwich company, a place that makes, you know, it's a chain. It's a chain. I keep thinking bistro, but it's not that. A chain deli restaurant. That's it. A chain deli sandwich restaurant in the UK, and I can't remember which one it is, but they fucking love rocket. They put it in everything, and it kind of, they sometimes they stuff that they put it in because it's cheap, and the other ingredients can be expensive. So you get a, a chicken salad sandwich, for example, and I will say that 90% is fucking rocket, and I hate them for that. It's bad. Of the filler is rocket. It's just crazy. It's like, why would you do this? This is, but yeah, they do that for, they just overload, they overbuy rocket, arugula, whatever, and it makes us. Why are you doing this? It's crazy. So yeah, yes, that's too much. Well, doy. Yeah. But yeah, we're just ranted about sandwich toppings. Okay, I don't know what's going on, but my ear, just the top of my ear, just here, is itchy. Now I'm hungry. Well, yeah. I mean, I was hungry anyway. I kind of already peaked with my hunger, but I'm actually tired, so I can't eat anything because I'm going to go to bed soon. So, we have to get rid of this random bit of something. Right, I'm out of topics. I'm out of topics. I don't really know what else to talk about. Jeffrey, do you have anything that did you have anything else that you wanted me to watch for the movie, for the Wednesday movie thing? So I've got this random bit of just tiny bit of just dry skin, just a little bit of different kind of skin on my middle finger on my right hand. And it just annoys me because it's wherever I rest my pen. You don't, okay. It's no pressure. It's no pressure. I was just asking if you had like any ideas of what else that you wanted me to see. You have mentioned something in the past that, but I just can't remember what it was. There was something that I've not seen. Like I said, if we can't think of anything, then I'm just going to make it the standard of watching a Stargate. Pretty sure you can do that on, yeah. I can watch Buffy. Where's the deal? I've got this random bit of like rough skin or something. Sorry, I'm being distracted by this, but I'm being distracted by this. Of all pleasure, please on your middle finger tubs. Yes, that must be annoying. It's weird. I don't know if it's not going to focus. Focus. Okay. There was a 0.3 seconds where there was no current going into the house. We had a power drop. The lights flickered and everything. That was weird. Right, yeah, so I'm not distracted. Right. .5 seconds. We get blackout. Weird. Well, I live in the middle of the country. Anyway, maybe it's whenever I put my finger up to the camera. Oh, you can just see it. You can just see it, but it's embedded in my finger. When it does focus, you can just make it out. If I cover my face up, there you go. It doesn't know what to focus on. But yeah, it's just this random bit. Like if I've got my stylus here, right? My pen. And you know, when you're holding your pen, you kind of just like you rest it kind of between your fingers like that, and my middle finger occasionally slides on the stylus, and it will slide over my skin on my finger, but it would just get stopped by whatever this is. Like it physically stops the stylus running over my finger. So whatever it is, it has mass, you know, and it just has a little bump in my skin, but it doesn't hurt or anything. It's just annoying. So I have completely removed it before, but I don't know what it is. Yeah, I live in the middle of the countryside in the UK. So yeah, the power does that every now and again. I mean, this is supposed to be the future, right? Are we all supposed to have like fusion reactors and shit in our basements? What is that thing? What is that thing where Avery? I swear it's Avery Brooks, who basically says, you know, wait, I thought this was the future. I was promised flying cars. You know, I don't know why, but I've heard that quote a couple of times now, and I got to figure out where I heard it. Avery Brooks. Oh my god. IBM flying cars commercial. What year was that?
It is the year 2000. But where are the flying cars? I was promised flying cars. I don't see any flying cars. Why? 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 Because billions of people all over the world can work together on the web 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You don't need flying cars, but you will need a different kind of software. It's a different kind of world. You need a different kind of software.
Sorry. I don't know why that's tickling me so much. I knew it was Avery Brooks. I knew it was Avery Brooks. In case you didn't know, Avery Brooks plays a character on Star Trek called Benjamin Sisko. And Benjamin Sisko is kind of a badass. Only problem with Benjamin Sisko is that he's portrayed by Avery Brooks, who isn't a badass, and in fact is just very dramatic. He's very dramatic with his breathing all the time, and it's like, oh my god. Yeah, it hurts. It hurts a lot. I don't know why. Especially when he's doing his crazy acting, when he's trying to act like a crazy person. It hurts. I don't know why. It just, yeah. The super mega acting in, the acting in Star Trek is, we had Kirk, we started off with Kirk. It should have ended there with the overacting with the Kirk. It's what we had that should have been the end of it. But no. Then we got Avery Brooks. Have you seen him do that? I mean, what else was? I don't know what else Avery Brooks has been in. All I know is that he was on Deep Space Nine, and he was the main character of Deep Space Nine, I guess. Yeah, he does do that. Thank you. I'm glad that you. Have you seen Deep Space Nine? Have you seen it? Have you been a Trekkie all along? Some of my favorite characters come from Deep Space Nine. In all of Star Trek, some of my favorite characters coming from Deep Space Nine. I do hate. There's one character in particular who basically has come out as gay. Said that his character had come out as gay. That basically like, oh, this character that I was playing, he was gay. It was like, why are you doing this? It's like, well, you were saying that we needed more representation, LGBT in Star Trek, and it's like, but he had sex with a woman. It's like, yeah, he's bi. It's like, but that's not gay. Also, are you idiots? Not representation in Star Trek, the place where the first interracial kiss happened, the first female on female kiss happened. Have you seen Star Trek Discovery? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing every single opportunity they get? They try to make someone gay in Star Trek. What are you saying? Not represented enough. How many gay people do you think are on the planet? Yeah, it hurts. You're sorry, you have not seen Deep Space Nine, so you don't know of his acting. What else has he been in? But Avery Brooks, the advert that I just played, the advert that I just played.
It is the year 2000. But where are the flying cars?
This is how he talks.
Flying cars. I don't see any flying cars. Why? 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 Because billions of people all over the world.
The way that he's acting, the way that he's talking, that's how he did it all the time on Star Trek Deep Space Nine. And he's the main character. I mean, could you take it? Could you take it all the time? Someone talking like that all the time? Would it not drive you insane? But yeah, Jeffrey, yeah. So they were talking about this guy. This guy's called Garrick, right? He's an alien. He's from Cardassia. He's a Cardassian. And basically, he has these talks with, he's got a best friend on Deep Space Nine, and he's the Doctor character, and they were just talking. They were best friends. They were kind of best friends. They were. His best friend was Bashir, the doctor character, and Bashir had a best friend that was Chief O'Brien. But no, he basically said that, like, oh yes, of course I was gay. I mean, did you not hear our conversations all the time with Bashir? I mean, there's definitely something going on there. It's like, oh yes, because two guys can't just be best friends. Fuck off. I wouldn't mind them saying that he's bi, but he was saying that he was gay. That he was definitely gay. He was always gay. It was never said in the show, but that this character was gay. And it's like, but you courted and had sex with, assumably, a female Cardassian. There was a whole episode about it. It's annoying when people do that. It's just, yeah, it's really irritating when people do that. It's like, yeah. He was Hawk on Spencer for Hire. Did he do it there too? Did he do it there too? Avery. Avery Brooks. Oh, by the way, Avery Brooks, the actor, hates Star Trek now. Just, yeah. What was it? What was it? Hawk. Hawk. Oh, wow.
On to settle with Clayton. Officer Clayton, you looking for something? Who are you? Let's just say we had a mutual friend, Missy Porter. Missy? Oh, yeah. You're not her pimp. No. I'm not. I'm a student of medical phenomena, however, with an insatiable curiosity. For example, how does a 95-pound girl of 17 get to be so strong that the only way you can subdue her is to kill her? Why don't you do yourself a favor, mister? Don't stick your nose into police business. Why? I have great respect for law and order. It's you who make tragic
Emphasis on random words is really annoying.
You know, guys like you don't make threats. Guys like you say yes, sir, and you mean it. I'm going to be watching you, Officer Clayton, all the time. Don't bother looking behind you because you won't see me. But
yeah.
From now on, you will never walk alone. Blacks. Who the hell do you think you are? I know who I am. The name is Hawk.
But yeah, he basically does that all the time, but with the heavy breathing as well. There'll be big breaths in all the time, and it's like, oh, God, shut up. Lots of breathing, lots of breathing. Why does he hate Star Trek now, Tubbs? I didn't know that. And it's because he got typecast. He got the Star Trek disease thing, you know, that basically whenever they wanted him to do space roles, whenever he was on TV after Star Trek for some reason or something, I don't know. But and he hated it when people kept recognizing him and only talking about the Star Trek stuff and all of that stuff, you know. And that's the thing that does happen, and it's not a huge big deal, but yeah. Plus, he wanted to be. There was a payment discussion as well, I think, but I don't know what the payment issue was. But yeah. So yeah. He basically, he basically hates Star Trek and will not do Star Trek shit anymore. And it's like, okay. Kind of, no one's asking you to do. But yeah, I can't imagine him not being super just, yeah. I've seen a couple of interviews as well, and he does seem a bit up his own ass. He did it there too. I didn't notice it there with the breathing, with the microphone on his breathing for some reason. He can project his breaths all the time, whereas most people, when they're, you know, you don't hear it. You don't hear it because, you know, it's not a thing. It's not a thing. The breathing part you don't listen to because it's not part of the speech. It's part of the bit in between the speech. The emphasis is on the words, not the breaths. So you don't hear the breathing unless you want to project the breathing. But he projects all of the breathing. It drives me nuts. It drives me nuts so much. It's just, there's too much. It's so annoying. Oh, good. My search history is YouTube's gonna show me a bunch of just Avery Brooks shit now. Anyway, yeah. I don't know why, but the flying cars thing always entertains me. It was promised flying cars. Where are the flying cars? I do like I was promised flying cars thing. I think that's what it is, you know. I also think that's kind of what's wrong. That's a big Generation X thing, you know. Like we were promised flying cars. We were promised flying cars at this time, you know. So we lived our lives kind of expecting flying cars and the cool, awesome future that was promised to us, and even potentially a war happening. We don't know, and it kind of just didn't happen. It kind of like technology is amazing and it has progressed a great deal and stuff like that. And we've got smartphones now, which is great. But, you know, where are the flying cars? Like I just said, with the random power outage that we had, where's our future? Where's our future fusion reactors that are just in our basements? Why doesn't everyone have a miniature fusion reactor just in their basement? Where is that kind of cool technology that we were promised? Where is it? You know, but no, we're still using planes, we're still using cars, and not of the not flying variety. And there's no space, there's no Mars colony, you know, there's no lunar colony even. It's kind of like, yeah. But whatever. I'm kind of really. You know, sometimes I am really actually just disappointed. Like I'll look up at the moon. I do that surprisingly a lot. Damon was commenting on it. It's like, you often look at the moon whenever we're outside. And it's like, yeah. I mean, it's awesome. It's a whole planetary body just there. That's incredible to think of. And I'm just kind of like, I'm often just disappointed that at my own race, you know, human race is just, we could do such awesome shit, and we end up yelling at about how some orange guy is bad. You know. Hey, Penfox. Hope all is well. All is just fine. We were talking about Avery Brooks and how he's hilarious. Just unintentionally hilarious. Just promised flying cars. But yeah, I was heading off. I'll be on for an hour and a half, and yeah, the moon is so cool, Tubbs. Yeah, like I said, it's a whole planetary body, and it's just over there. You know, it's incredibly far away, and yet incredibly close. It's amazing. You know, it's amazing, and basically, the human race doesn't give a shit. That's what it feels like. Us as a collective, we don't give a shit. Kind of just makes you really disappointed in your own race, you know? But whatever. It's whatever. I still have hope that, like, we're going to figure it out. You know? It would have been nice. Damon's kind of a bit bummed also with humanity, because he said that it would have been nice to see the first Martians. You know? But he doesn't think that's going to happen in his lifetime. So, whatever. Anyway, I was disappointed since day one of 2020. Oh no, I've been disappointed with the human race since. all my life. I'd say I would say the year 1000, you know, or to everybody else on the planet for some reason, the year 0. I'd say that I would have been disappointed with us since the year 1000. Because it took a long time to get to such good progress, and then year 1000 happened, and then it was like, for some reason, we just stopped progressing as much and as quickly. But yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. Jeffrey says Avery Brooks was supposed to be a guest speaker at an affair here, but he didn't show up for some reason at the last minute. Oh, well, no, I get that. I think that is one of his that's just one of his things. He's an actor, of course. He can be dramatic about his timing and his schedules. You know, it's a thing. Avery Brooks, he's definitely he's a diva. That's the word I'm trying to think of. I think he's a bit of a diva. On all of the interview stuff, on all of the Star Trek stuff that I've got, he's never in uniform. You know, he's never in uniform. He's always in all of his African headwear and his African robes and stuff. It's like, we get it. Fucking black and from Africa. We get it. We know. We understand. Okay. But it's like, seriously? I'm sorry. Yeah. I don't think it ever comes up in the show. I don't think it ever actually comes up in the show. The whole racial politics stuff never comes up in Star Trek. I think it almost did in one episode that he was in, because they have this thing called holo suites where it's holodeck. They have a holodeck, and there's a storyline, a scenario, and a place where you can go in the holodeck, which is basically Las Vegas, in a club in Las Vegas in the 60s. I think it's the 60s. It's either the 50s or the 60s. And basically, Captain Sisko, him, has never been in there because in the 1960s and in the 1950s, although it's not programmed into the holodeck, because they don't have those issues, they don't have racial politics in the future. They have species politics, but they don't have racial politics. That's always a funny thing. Like, making fun of the Vulcans, completely fine. You know, making fun of black people, we don't even know how, because it's the future. You know, it's like, technically Vulcans are a race. Anybody figured this out yet? I mean, they are different species, yes, but we humans can breed with Vulcans. So are they the same species? So it is race. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, so Sisko's character doesn't want to go into the holodeck because it's a misrepresentation of how Las Vegas was in the 1950s and 60s, because they changed it. They have to, they edited out all of the, any aggressive stuff that happens in this program. But everybody else on the station loves going to Vegas in the 50s and 60s. In this holodeck program, even black people, and I have no problem with it. But he has a stand, God damn it. He thinks it was wrong that people were segregated and treated badly because of the color of their skin in the past. So he won't ever go into that holodeck program, and only him. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me either. But yeah, it was like, that's the only time that he ever got political about the whole race issue thing. And it's like, I don't know what you're trying to say. I don't know what you're trying to say. You know, I wish it was. I'm not kidding. In the episode, they don't. That's all the explanation he gives. He doesn't give any other explanation, and I don't know what he's trying to say. I think another character even tells him, you know, it's like, but that was back then, and this. I mean, we don't have those issues now because they don't in the future in Star Trek. And yet he's got a problem with the past. Because again, this other character, I mean, she's black, and she's saying that, well, we know our past. We know that this is a hologram and is fake. It's a story. What point are you making? You know, if it was set just like 10 years into the future, and there is still racial politics happening, you know, on Earth, then I'd get it, because it would be, you know, it would be a departure from. It would basically be a kind of a form of protest, and I don't understand. But it's the far future. There hasn't been racial politics for this guy for the past 300 years. 300 years, and yet he's got a problem with the way that this holodeck program is written, and it's completely fine. He doesn't have to go in there. But I just don't understand what point he's trying to make by choosing not to go in there. And maybe I'm not supposed to. Maybe I'm just not supposed to. I don't know. Anyway, Manoj. I don't know what you're trying to say, but just a one character thing. So yeah, Edgar's here. Hi, dude. Says, can you show your belly, please? I will at the end. I will in a second, because like I said, I'm leaving. But I'm just trying to get, why? Could someone please explain this to me? I don't understand this. This has always bugged me. It's not bugged me a lot. It's just that we're talking about Avery Brooks, and we're talking about Benjamin Sisko, the character he played in Star Trek. So yeah, I just find it hilarious. It's all hilarious. Just this advert with the flying cars thing that still makes me giggle. Just because he's doing the overacting thing on an advert about flying cars. Excuse me. I got tickets to the Backstreet Boys reunion tour. Anything anybody want to talk to me about before I leave? Can I just say this one thing? There is an episode, there is a season, just for one season of Deep Space Nine. Avery Brooks is hot. Like he's a little bit heavier. He's got a heavy set frame in the first place, but just the way he carries himself in his suits and stuff, you could tell that he's kind of sucking in his gut. You know, he has the bald look going. He has the goatee. It's just like, just some of the expressions. It's just like, I mean, it got my head turning, especially with the like little flecks of grey hair that happened as well towards the end. But yeah. When he first came on with the with the buzz cut and the no facial hair and stuff like that, I think he loses his eyebrows at one stage as well. He goes through a bit of a transformation during Deep Space Nine. But yeah. Nothing. Okay. Ugh. Right then. Belly rubs. Belly salute. I'll be back tomorrow, but I don't know what I'll be doing. I might be playing a video game. I don't know. We'll figure it out. There won't be any art class tomorrow because it's a weekend. So art class is not coming back until Monday. So yeah. Yes, he's a very sexy man to me too, Tubbs. That's why I was so disappointed when he didn't speak at the affair. I wouldn't. Like I said, I wouldn't say sexy, but there's just, like I said, just a couple of head turning moments. You know. But then I realised that it's Avery Brooks and he starts acting, and I'm like, you know, very much a boner killer for me. If he was just more casual, like an actual human being, with the less acting, less emphasis and stuff, then I would, I would totally, I'd be okay with that. Like if I was in Star Trek, if I was in the Star Trek universe, and I went to Deep Space Nine, and I met Benjamin Sisko, then I know that that guy is just like that. He's just like that because he's playing a character, but in the Star Trek universe, Benjamin Sisko, that's just the way he talks. That's just him as a human being talking that way. It's just the way he talks. It makes sense. So yeah. So well, Tubbs, and here's many more. Oh, good stop. There we go. Well, snuggles, kisses, and many rubs. So thank you. Thanks so much for the belly salute, Tubbs, at any time. And yeah, toodles, dudes. I'll see you tomorrow. I don't know what I'll be doing. I'll either be doing editing of the video, maybe, Unless I do all of that in the middle of the day. I don't know. Or just another one of these hanging out. I don't know. Something.